Cage Warriors 84. You're with us again, Graham. Can we run through the main card? Hatcam Foss versus Craig White. How do you see this one going?
Amazing fight. Two tall, rangy welters. Craig is that guy that comes in and just always delivers a fight. Regardless of the record, he's always involved in a scrap. And Hatcam's on that turn on his career where he's starting to pick up some good wins. It's a great opening fight for the main TV card.
Just looking at the odds, it's 1-4 for Foss and White 5-2. Fair?
Interesting odds. I never get involved in them, but yeah, interesting odds. It's going to be a cracking fight. To be honest, it's one of those fights that I would not like to go either way on that, because you don't know which guy is going to turn up for that fight. You know, if the Hatcam that I know turns up, I think he wins. If the Craig White that I know turns up, he wins. So it's whoever turns up in their characters that wins that fight, and it's going to be electric. Yeah.
Moving on to Alexander Jacobson versus Tom Green. Tom turns up. He looked like the Salvador Dali of Cage Warriors today, didn't he?
Yeah. Tom is. I think this is probably Tom's biggest test. You know, he's got a great record. The opponents have been goodish to this level, but Jacobson is a different level of athlete that Tom hasn't faced before. He's got heavy hands, so it's a case of a really good up-and-comer with a great record fighting a guy who's been there and done it. He's fought some decent names. So that's another interesting. We find out who's who in that fight tomorrow night, yeah.
Look at Matt Inman versus Brad Wheeler. Brad Wheeler says that he's in the form of his life. He's the best Brad Wheeler he's ever been. But obviously people coming into this will look at Matt, you know, as possibly the favourite.
Yeah. I think people will have Matt down as a favourite in this fight. You know, with this fight, the question in this fight is: does this fight turn into a grappling match? Because they're both very, very high level on the ground. So does this turn into a grappling match, or do they stay striking? You know, if it's to stay striking, I would favour Brad. I think Brad's got, but he's been in wars. He likes to strike. If it goes to the ground, I think I would go with Matt. But then again, you don't know. You don't know. There's so many different ways these guys can win, and there's so many possibilities in these fights. So, great fight. Odds with Matt, I'd kind of go with that. But you don't know. You don't know.
Looking at it, it's for Matt it's 2-5, and for Brad Wheeler 17-10. What you're going to see here tactically, then, is him try and get Brad to the floor. So Brad's going to stand back punching, and maybe throwing the foot every now and again.
Yeah, possibly. I mean, Matt's lost a few fights to body shots in the past. Brad likes to throw those body shots. I think he won his last fight off a good left hook to the body. And like I said, Matt's got great jiu-jitsu. Then so is Brad. But you know, I would like to sit back and watch that fight and see who's got what game plan to go where. You know, is somebody have a game plan to go to the ground? Is somebody going to try and keep it standing? Because they're both even out guys. Even though Brad's record may not be as good as Matt's, it's we think that they're probably two of the best welters in the UK.
Kenneth Berg versus Norman Parisi. Now you weighed them in, called them over, had the pictures took. Normally the two fighters they look fairly similar. You know, at their weight. They look mismatched, if you know what I mean. Kenneth just looks huge.
Kenneth's a monster of a guy, man. I mean, he weighs in at 205, but he probably walks around at 240, 260, if not more. Norman, realistically, is a big middle, and he's fighting light heavy, you know. But I believe Norman is thinking in his head he has far more experience than Kenneth Berg. Kenneth Berg is on his sixth fight. Norman Parisi has been there, done it, wore a T-shirt, wrote the book. You know, he's got a massive experience, and he's fought big guys before. You know, he doesn't want to make that middleweight anymore. It's a massive cut for him. You know, so for him to be fighting lightweight, there's look a size difference, and Kenneth is a lot more built. But I wouldn't be looking at this fight in a way that the big guy's going to win here, because Parisi has got a world of experience, and this is Kenneth Berg's biggest fight of his career.
It ends the hype about Kenneth then, really, doesn't it?
Well, either starts it more or it ends it, yeah.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, so, but then again, it doesn't end the hype of Kenneth. if Kenneth gets the job done tomorrow night, I've previously discussing it today. If he gets the job done tomorrow night, I believe Kenneth's next fight will be in the UFC. You know, there's no reason for him to be in Europe. You know, if he's able to take out someone like Norman Parisi. If Norman Parisi is to win tomorrow night, then Kenneth will have a bit of developing to do and sort out where he's going from there. But there is a lot of hype around Kenneth Berg right now. You know, 5-0, 205, good-looking guy covered in tattoos. You know, he's a PR dream for any organisation that he's in. So if he can get to work done tomorrow night, yeah, good for Kenneth.
Just look at the odds there. Kenneth Berg 3-11, Parisi's 23-10. Again, you know, the bookies rarely get it wrong.
Yeah, you know, decent odds. I wish I could bet on them. But yeah, another one. Like I think out of the entire main card, even over the main event, that's the one fight I've really got my eye on. You know, that's a very interesting fight.
Now, looking at this one, a lot spoken about Nathaniel Wood. I mean, he's called the prospect.
Yeah.
For that very reason, Marko Kovacevic has come over. Now, he said he hasn't come over just to give Nathaniel fame, but you know, by handing it over, he wants to win as well. So this could be a tear-up, couldn't it?
Yeah, I believe this is going to be a crazy fight. You know, you've got Marko coming in. He's obviously seen Nathaniel's last performance against UFC veteran Vaughan Lee, and which is very impressive, which automatically put Nathaniel as the #1 guy for that vacant belt. And it was Ian Dean's job with me to source the best bantam we could find with the best record as a free agent in Europe to make up that jigsaw puzzle for that bantamweight belt. And the status of the Cage Warriors belt was jumped on by Marko. He realizes the status of having that belt. So, you know, like tomorrow night's fight is the biggest fight of Kenneth Berg's career. It's also the biggest fight of Markus and Nathaniel. They've got the opportunity tomorrow night to be the Cage Warriors bantamweight world champion. I don't think anybody's coming in here to give anybody fame. Both of them are coming in here to get that belt.
I know Brad Pickett's been talking about Nathaniel for quite a while now as a given to go to UFC.
Yeah.
Well, this goes some way to proving it, doesn't it?
Yeah, well, it's in the numbers and it's out there in the public domain. You get that Cage Warriors belt, you may defend it once, you might defend it twice, you won't defend it a third time. You're going to the UFC, you're going to get that contract. So over 80-something guys, 84, 85 guys have gone on to the UFC. Every champion we've had over the past 4 or 5 years has gone to the UFC. So there's a lot at stake for these two guys tomorrow night.
Just finally, Graham, we've got here Kovacevic 21-20 and Wood 2-3.
Yeah, good odds. Like I said, I wish I could gamble. But yeah, it'll be a good main event. So let's. We've got Nathaniel to make weight. He's still got that 0.5 to do. So he's probably got maybe an hour left to get back here. And fingers crossed they can fight for that belt. If he doesn't lose that 0.5, the fight will still go ahead. If Marko were to win, he gets the belt. If Nathaniel were to win, it's just a normal fight. He can't fight for the belt if he doesn't make the weight, but the fight can go ahead. So we'll find out in the next hour.